As most of us celebrated the new year, Pakistan's spy agency ISI's chief General Asim Malik is in Tajikistan holding a discussion with the Tajikistan president. This comes in the background of the Afghanistan Pakistan skirmish which took place along the Durand line very recently. What is interesting to note here is that Tajikistan, unlike many other countries, does not recognize Taliban in Afghanistan. So, why exactly was the ISI chief in Tajikistan? In this video, we'll be discussing ISI's role in training the ISIS terrorists, the Haqqani network, and the recent Taliban Pakistan skirmish. Hello everyone, welcome to Resonant News. On December 27th, the pro-Pakistan Taliban or the pro-TTP accounts on social media had claimed that Pakistan lost close to 19 Pakistani soldiers along the Durand line due to a TTP attack. This was confirmed by the journalists in Kurram. They confirmed that the attack took place in Anzegia and Karsha region of Kurram. The attack targeted the Pakistani post on 27th, which was briefly stopped due to the intervention of Afghan seniors. And then again it continued on December 28th. This was TTP retaliating against the drone attacks carried out by Pakistani forces inside Afghanistan in the Paktika province. Durand line, along which the skirmish was taking place, is a line which divides the Afghanistan and Pakistan. This is a line which is not even recognized by the Taliban itself. One of the main reasons for the recent skirmish was the killing of Khalil Haqqani, the Taliban minister, on December 11th. Taliban had carried out a series of attacks against Pakistani forces after that incident, which caused heavy losses to the Pakistani forces, including the loss of 3 to 4 Pakistani SSG commandos in a single day. TTP has increased the frequency with which it has been carrying out attacks against the Pakistani forces in last 18 months. But the last few weeks saw extremely high frequency with which TTP had been carrying out the attacks, which caused heavy losses to the Pakistani forces. Khalil Haqqani, who was killed on December 11th, was known to carry his gun wherever he went. This is why the suicide bomber who killed him targeted him when Khalil Haqqani was coming out of a mosque when he was not carrying his gun. Khalil Haqqani is also the uncle of Siraj Haqqani, the interior minister of Taliban. Siraj Haqqani's father, Jalaluddin Haqqani, had created the Haqqani network, one of the most powerful factions of the Taliban, which till very recently was out and out pro-Pakistan. The Haqqanis had been covertly funded by CIA through Pakistan's intelligence arm, ISI, to stage guerrilla attacks against the ex-Soviet soldiers in Afghanistan in the late 1980s. But that was in the past. Today, the Haqqani network and Pakistan army are at each other's neck. Islamic State, or the ISIS, had taken the responsibility for attack on Khalil Haqqani. Since the beginning of this year, Taliban officials have been regularly claiming that ISIS terrorist group gets trained in Balochistan under the guidance of Pakistan's spy agency ISI. In short, Taliban is claiming that Pakistan army is behind the attack on Khalil Haqqani. ISIS targeted the Taliban officials and its members multiple times in 2024. One of the biggest attacks took place earlier in 2024 in January when 20 Taliban officials were killed and 40 others were injured. This was a suicide attack which was carried out. Taliban claims Pakistan army is targeting them through ISIS. But why would that be so? TTP, or the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, is created the sole objective to overthrow the Pakistani government, waging a terrorist campaign against the Pakistan armed forces and the state. Pakistan officials claim that Taliban harbors TTP, or the Pakistan Taliban. This has been further reinforced by recent statement by Pakistan's veteran Asad Durrani. He claimed that eastern part of Afghanistan is controlled by the Haqqani network and that Haqqani network harbors TTP. So this makes sense why exactly Khalil Haqqani was targeted by the Pakistani army in all possibilities. So why have the Haqqanis turned against the Pakistan army suddenly? Pakistan army has been supporting NRF, National Resistance Front of Afghanistan, and ISIS, both of which target Taliban. NRF was formed by ex-Afghan officials and those who had to escape Afghanistan in 2021. One of them is Ahmad Massoud, the son of the famous Ahmad Shah Massoud, who was also called the Lion of Panjshir. There was a time when Panjshir could not be taken by Taliban in early 90s. At this point, it's not just about the ideological differences between these groups, but it's also about the trade, the business, and lots of money is involved in this. NRF men currently are taking shelter in Tajikistan, and Tajikistan, as I mentioned earlier, does not recognize Taliban. And Taliban now claims that Pakistan, along with NRF and Islamic State ISIS, carries out attacks against Taliban with the help of Tajikistan. And this is exactly why ISIS chiefs meeting in Tajikistan becomes a little more important. Interesting part is that the two countries, Pakistan and Tajikistan, are only 16 kilometers apart at the narrowest point, which is called the Wakhan Corridor. The Wakhan Corridor is a narrow strip of Afghanistan territory which connects Afghanistan to China. And China uses Wakhan Corridor to carry out its trade. Just 2 to 3 days ago, there were rumors that Pakistan has taken over the Wakhan Corridor and that Pakistani soldiers were spotted along the Wakhan Corridor. There are no confirmations to this. Of course, Wakhan Corridor will keep the Taliban on tenterhooks. It remains to be seen how will China react if ever Pakistan becomes adventurous along the Wakhan Corridor. I personally believe that this is why Pakistan army would not like to irk China by causing chaos in Wakhan. 2024 has not been a great year for China and Pakistan relationship. This is one of those rare years when China came out and protested against Pakistan and called it out for sheltering terrorists. This of course comes from the pain that Chinese projects and the Chinese nationals have been regularly attacked by the rebel groups in Pakistan, especially the Baloch groups. Coming back to the ISI chiefs meeting in Tajikistan, it's being said that ISI chief might meet the NRF team in Tajikistan. General Asim Malik is one of the most trusted members of General Asim Munir's team. During his military career, General Asim Malik has served the Baloch regiment. As a Major General, he commanded the 41st Infantry Division in Balochistan and the Infantry Brigade in Waziristan. Let me tell you that TTP carried out most of its attacks along Waziristan in 2024. As the Adjutant General of Pakistan Army, Lieutenant General Asim Malik, oversaw the investigation into May 9 riots, which Pakistan Army blames on Imran Khan's party. He is also credited with initiating and supervising the court-martial proceedings of the ex-ISI chief, Lieutenant General Faiz Hamid. Let us see if General Asim Malik and General Asim Munir's attempt at intimidating Taliban works or not. Taliban meanwhile has managed to land in the good books of China and Russia. As discussed earlier, it is a little ironical that Taliban, which used to be anti-Soviet earlier, is now very pro-Russia. How time flies. Geopolitics changes faster than the weather, they say. And probably we are witnessing it. Thanks for watching the show. Give us your feedback in the comment section. Till we meet again, stay informed and have a great year ahead.